Good evening, everyone. Today's topic is bronchial asthma from the subject of practice of medicine. So, without further delay, we'll start the session. Bronchial asthma. Bronchial asthma is an inflammatory airway disease with episodic occurrence of dyspnea with wheezing. So, Global Initiative for Asthma defines asthma as chronic inflammatory disorder of airway in which cells and cellular elements play a role. The chronic inflammation is associated with constricted inflamed airways, recurrent episodes of wheezing, breathlessness, chest tightness and coughing. There is pro-inflammation markers which cause airflow obstruction, and this is often reversible with spontaneously. It gets reversed spontaneously or with treatment. Epidemiology. Estimatedly, around 300 million affected individuals all over the world. It is more prevalent in developed countries than in developing countries and in urban areas than in rural areas. So, more prevalent in urban areas than in rural areas. It is more prevalent in developed countries rather than in developing countries. And in India, prevalence is 2 to 20%. In children, male female ratio is 2 is to 1, but in adults, it is the same. Pathophysiology. So, the inflammation, swollen, inflamed lining, thick tenacious secretions, contraction of smooth muscles. This inflammation of the bronchioles cause and also narrowing of airways. Inflammation causes narrowing of airways. This will cause increased airway resistance, decreased expiratory flow of air, and this causes hyperinflation with air trapping. That is, see, there is an airway resistance. First of all, breathing in is difficult, and there is decreased expiratory flow. That is, while breathing out, also the whole air, whatever, like except for the residual volume, the whole air is not expired out. This causes air trapping and hyperinflation. Okay, that is, there is more of used air where it has more of carbon dioxide. So this causes increased work of breathing and ventilation perfusion imbalance. Okay, this causes bronchial hyperresponsiveness. So this is the pathophysiology of bronchial asthma. The inflammation and narrowing of airways cause increased airway resistance and decreased expiration. This causes air trapping and hyperinflation. This causes increased work of breathing. That is why there is breathlessness, difficulty in breathing, and ventilation perfusion imbalance, and bronchial hyperresponsiveness. Pathological changes. Airway remodeling. The epithelial lining is denuded at several places. Smooth muscle hyperplasia, goblet cell and mucous glands hypertrophy, and basement membrane thickening are evident, especially in chronic intractable asthma. That is, there is epithelial lining is denuded at several places because of severe airway obstruction. Smooth muscle hyperplasia because of more working. The lungs are working more. Goblet cells and mucous gland hypertrophy because there is more of mucus secretion as a response. And basement membrane thickening are evident. This is because of inflammation. These may be permanent or irreversible, and these may be permanent and irreversible. Alveolar involvement is minimal and emphysema is not demonstrable. So this is normal, as you can see. Here you can see there are more number of goblet cells and mucus cells. There is obstruction, restriction, you can see. Okay, this is bronchiole. Pathogenesis. In allergic asthma, what happens? Allergen is inhaled. Macrophages and dendritic cells process the inhaled allergen. This under the influence of interleukin 4 differentiate to T helper cells 2. T helper cells 2 and T helper cell 1 imbalance occurs. Okay, this leads to sensitization and allergic asthma. Clinical features. Bronchial asthma is clinical features of bronchial asthma are breathing difficulty with wheezing often accompanied by cough and expectoration, because there is difficult breathing that leads to cough, and there is increased secretion of mucus that leads to expectoration. These are characteristically episodic, with patient being relatively symptom free in between the attacks. Cough is paroxysmal and may be accompanied by expectoration of thick and sticky sputum. Sneezing and running nose are common and may precede or accompany the attacks. Audible wheezing with accessory muscle use, inability to complete sentence, central cyanosis, and extensive bronchi occur. Inadequately treated children may have chest wall deformities such as pectus carinatum. So, investigations: forced vital capacity, forced expiratory volume. This ratio will be below 70% in airway obstruction. So, pulmonary function test help in diagnosing bronchial asthma. Radiology: usually normal, acute exacerbation varying degrees of hyperinflation. Usually the X-ray is normal, but when there is acute exacerbation, you can see hyperinflation. Pulse oximetry and ABG, arterial blood gas, detects hypoxia in severe asthma. If saturation is less than 90%, arterial blood gas analysis is important. Low partial pressure of oxygen. Arterial blood gas analysis shows low partial pressure of oxygen and increased partial pressure of carbon dioxide, which proves that is retention of air trapping. Okay, serology. Total IgE is increased, and eosinophilia in case of allergic asthma. Differential diagnosis: anaphylaxis, acute severe hypertension. There will be skin complaints, GI complaints, rapid onset after exposure. Sometimes anaphylaxis is also fatal if not treated timely. Bronchiolitis. The child has a viral history, wheezing, crackles, no response to bronchodilator. But this is how do you diagnose, differential diagnose bronchiolitis. Next, partial endobronchial obstruction. Unilateral wheeze, persistent and localized, may mimic asthma. Systemic vasculitis, hemoptysis, fever, weight loss, abnormal investigation, multisystem features. COPD, history of smoking, chronic cough, sputum, poor reversibility. Eosinophilic pneumonia, fever, dyspnea, eosinophilia, pulmonary infiltrate, non-asthmatic wheeze. Congestive heart failure, orthopnea, edema, jugular venous distension, and basal crackles, cardiac signs. Sudden dyspnea, pleuritic chest pain, tachycardia, hypoxia, risk factors are present. Upper airway obstruction, stridor. In upper airway obstruction, nose block, there is stridor more than wheeze. Voice change, difficulty in inhaling, no improvement with bronchodilator. Then panic disorder, hyperventilation, acute breathlessness, normal chest examination, anxiety, tingling, dizziness. Pneumonia, fever, productive cough, cackles, chest X-ray, infiltration. It shows infiltration. Wheeze may occur but not primary. So this is about bronchial asthma. So now we will see probable MCQs. See, bronchial asthma is a must know question, and in the curriculum all types of questions are given: MCQs, SAQs, LAQs. Okay, so these are the probable MCQs. The hallmark physiological feature of bronchial asthma is airway hyperresponsiveness. The functional, what is this? FEV. Forced expiratory volume. The forced expiratory volume is to forced vital capacity ratio in obstructive airway disease such as asthma is typically less than 70%. In allergic asthma, differentiation of T lymphocytes into Th2 cells is promoted mainly by interleukin 4. Which of the following is characteristic of asthma rather than COPD? Reversible airway obstruction. The worst time for asthma symptoms is usually early morning or night. In acute severe asthma, pulse oximetry shows SpO2 less than 90% indicates needs for EBG, arterial blood gas. Which radiology finding may be during acute exacerbation? Hyperventilation. Eosinophilia and elevated total IgE is common in allergic asthma. Stridor rather than wheeze suggests upper airway obstruction. In children with asthma, the male-female ratio is approximately 2:1. So these are case-based MCQs. A 10-year-old boy presents with recurrent episodes of wheezing, cough, especially at night and early morning. He is asymptomatic between attacks. Spirometry shows forced expiratory volume, force vital capacity ratio 65% with significant improvement after bronchodilator. The most likely diagnosis is bronchial asthma. 35-year-old woman, sudden breathlessness, urticaria, hypotension, wheezing within minutes of eating peanuts is anaphylaxis. 60-year-old chronic smoker presents with progressive dyspnea. Smoker is COPD. 22-year-old student presents with sudden dyspnea during exam. This is panic disorder with hyperventilation. Unilateral wheeze, recurrent pneumonia is partial endobronchial obstruction. Wheezing, low-grade fever, viral infection is bronchiolitis. Fever, hemoptysis is systemic vasculitis with pulmonary involvement. Fever, productive cough, pleuritic chest pain is pneumonia. Severe breathlessness, SpO2 is 86% is arterial, requires arterial blood gas analysis. Exposure to dust and animal dander, it shows T2 mediated hypersensitivity. So these are the probable SAQs, which are for 5 marks. LAQs. See here, even case-based LAQs are given. So this is about bronchial asthma. Tomorrow's session at 7:30 will be surgery. Please do join. Thank you.